Welcome to Just James, the podcast. We hope this episode enlightens, illuminates, and illustrates a new outlook for your life. And now, here is our host.
Well, hello. It's your boy, it's me, it's PJV, and that's no cap, that's big facts. Welcome to the Just James podcast, everybody. I got a special guest with me. She's the author of the Self-Care Workbook for Women. It's available on Amazon. She's a facilitator of the I Am Her Facebook page. She's a hard worker, mentor, overcomer. Everybody, give her biggest applause for the wise, the beautiful Sepeshia Baker. Everybody. Everybody, hello. So let's get into these questions. First question is, how would you describe your journey to discovering your purpose? And were there moments of clarity or turning points that shaped you into who you are today?
Okay, that's a good question. So finding my purpose, it was more of being of service of other people. I had no idea what my purpose was at first, so I had no clarity. I felt like I was lost. All I know is that I wanted to help people, so that's what it was. That's really sum it up, really.
Okay. So how was that journey like for you as far as growing up and coming into that? What was that journey for you in navigating life as a young woman to where you are now? How was that journey for you?
Well, the journey was really rough. Of course, I'm just not coming home from prison in April, so I did 5 months. So that was a real big deal for me to finding my purpose. So I can really say it was rough. Growing up, it was really rough. I didn't have my father in my life because he was in prison. My mom was a single mom, so she took care of me by herself. So watching her and just watching her strength growing up, looking back now, it's like, oh, okay, so now I see what strength looks like, so it was really rough to get here. It was.
Wow. So I would estimate to go through what you went through, especially going to prison for 5 months, and look, prison for any time is mentally taxing, whether it be 30 days or 5 months, it's taxing. So what role does faith and spirituality play in that, or in your personal values play in your understanding of your destiny and of your journey up to that point? And how do you stay aligned with it during challenging times?
Okay. Well, first and foremost, you have to understand that really life is a journey. So you really don't know. Well, this is how I operate from my perspective. I go in every day not knowing what's gonna happen, but just knowing that God has it under control. I have not always been like that. I always had that faith like that. I have not always. My grandma always used to say, you don't worry about nothing. You just have peace. I have to be. That's where faith lies. If you worry about everything, it's like, how can you say you're Christian? How can you say you have faith? So just knowing that anything that I do go through, it's like, God, what are you trying to tell me? I look at every situation like that, even encounters, even from the encounter from you and I, it was a purpose for that. So as long as you think about everything has a purpose, that's where your faith can get stronger, because you know that nothing that you're going through is for no reason. So
absolutely. Yeah. I'll always say that there's glory behind your story, or there's glory for your pain.
Absolutely.
Everybody goes through something that's for a reason. It's not just for happenstance. There's a reason why you're going through what you're going through. So I've always encouraged people through what they're going through to understand that it's not just happening to you, it's happening for you.
Right, it is. Absolutely, to mold you to who you are.
Absolutely. So I definitely understand that. Like going to the third question, you kind of alluded to it. Can you share a specific setback that felt like a major roadblock, and how did you navigate through that experience and bounce back stronger?
Okay. I would say being out right before I went to prison. I was homeless. I didn't have nowhere to go. I didn't know which way to go. Living in my car, living in hotel rooms, So I would say that right there to me was a major roadblock. But how I got through that is God pulled me out of that by going to prison and said, "Hey, enough is enough. You got to learn from this." I had to sit down. I had to be okay with being with myself, like literally being to myself and having to sit in it and literally think, "Okay, Sepeshia, what are you doing wrong? What is it? What is God trying to teach you?" Because at first, when I was homeless and all of that, I was running from something. It wasn't that I couldn't pay my bills. It wasn't any of that. It was just I was running. I wasn't okay with going to go talk to somebody. I wasn't okay with telling people my business. I was running from the fact that, okay, God is literally giving me these resources and I'm not using them. So that right there was a roadblock for me by trying to listen to myself. And I could have just been praying and asking God like how to get through it. So that's what sent me to prison.
Wow. So you said you were running. What were you running from, if you don't mind me asking?
I feel like it was more of like embarrassment,
shame.
my family shame. See, now talking about going to prison and all of that, I'm like, okay, it's my story. But when I was going on my way to prison, it was like, oh, I can't tell nobody this. I can't put that out there. I can't tell nobody I was homeless. I can't. But yes, I can. Because what I'm going through is helping somebody else. So that really, I was really running from myself, really, my thoughts.
And you cannot run your thoughts. You can try. You cannot run them. They're always
no. Yeah,
always going to be there.
They sure are.
I think you kind of got into the next question from the previous one. It says, what's the most important lesson you learned from failure or disappointment? And how did it influence your perspective on success and purpose?
So it really changed my perspective in a major way, because it's like, okay, I'm going through all of this. Instead of me looking at it as a bad thing or what I'm going through, looking back now about everything I went through, it's like, dang, I just went through that just to help somebody else. I just really sacrificed all of that just to help somebody else. So it changed my entire perspective about life in general, about spirituality, where I'm at currently, working my janitor job. I've never had a job like that. It changed my perspective. Why am I here? Like, am I here to learn these lessons? Am I here to clean? Am I here to help? I feel like I'm literally on assignment. So it changed my perspective in a major way. Like I can pray now and say, okay, God, I know you got it. I know I went through prison. I know I'm working at this job for a reason. So it changed my perspective in a major way, just to let go. Let go.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. You may not know my story. I've kind of alluded to it on this podcast, but I'll tell you mine. Before the age of 30, I'm 31 now. I'll be 32 next March, this March coming. But before the age of 30, I experienced a high-level job loss, emotional and verbal abuse, the passing away of my father, and the ending of my marriage, all before the age of 30. And definitely mental health issues, suicidal ideations, depression, anxiety, all that good stuff. So I can definitely say and definitely understand the concept of going through all this pain and not understanding why. Why me? Why is this happening right now? And suffering in silence. Suffering in silence to either say what's left of your ego or to just not deal with shame. But as time began to go forward, there was an opportunity that was afforded to me, and when it was afforded to me at a very tumultuous time in the community. And I literally told the Lord, like, not like this. This is too soon. This don't make sense. This is too much. And he literally said, everything that you went through was for this moment right here. So he made 3 years worth of pain make sense in one day. And and then understanding that, it made me realize, like, wow, like, okay, this is what that was for. You know, so definitely understand that learning the lessons and roadblocks and setbacks, you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 5 steps back. It's like, come on, when is my break gonna come? When is my opportunity gonna come? And out of those trials and tribulations, a book is being written. Out of that trial and tribulation, my business was being established. Skills was being heightened, and networking connections were being made. So, I mean, definitely out of, as Tupac said, the roads that grew out the concrete, if you will, that it shouldn't have grown there, but somehow it grew and it was beautiful. So I can definitely understand, facing opposition, facing roadblocks, not knowing how, yet God making a way out of no way, and then all of a sudden making all of your pain within one day make sense. It's very like just mind-blowing.
It is.
Just very mind-blowing. Next question. Who or what has been instrumental in helping you rise after a setback? How important, and also how important are community and relationships in shaping your journey?
Great question. I don't think it's a who, because I believe everybody I come encounter with has a part of who I am or who I'm becoming. Everybody. I don't care if it's someone at the corner store. But as long as you're nice, you're going to get that back in return. So to stay strong, my strength, it would be like my mom. I have ladies in my prayer group when I don't have the strength to pray, because I still go through things. I do. I still go through everything every day, literally still going through it right now as we speak. I would say like everybody, even yourself, like everybody. It's like, as long as you don't have any distractions and you're able to see and hear what's going on, you're fine. So I try not to get frustrated because of that. I try not to get angry. I try to stay focused. If someone I'm real big on, if someone was to come up to me and just speak, that's an opportunity for me. So I would literally say everybody. I can't even say not one person. That's why I'm in the world. I mean, I'm just out there. So yeah, everybody.
And obviously, I've been seeing you out in the world, but you're also mentoring young ladies. How did you get into the process of mentoring young ladies and young women?
I actually did not have a clue that I was going to do that. A pastor came up to me actually at church, and before I even went to prison, actually. So this was already in the making. My little sister actually started it too. I gotta give her credit. She's real big on, hey sissy, I want somebody to play with, because I was the only child growing up. So I'm real big on listening to elders and kids, because they literally know what they're talking about. So first she had came up to me and said something about, I want to do this with kids. Then the pastor at church came up to me and was like, hey, I want you to start this group at my church. So ever since then, because I have a story, I feel like I give it to it in a different way. Mothers are more stern and firm. I'm more, hey, I really understand the why behind it. I understand why my mom talked to me like that, and I'm able to explain in a different way so they won't go through trauma.
Right.
Because you can go through trauma just by your mom saying, sit down. So you can carry that to your adulthood, and it's like, well, she always told me to sit down, so that's why I don't stand up. That could be trauma. So I explain it to them, and I always give the why. So that's what made me want to start mentoring girls, is me explaining the why. Parents are always busy, and evidently I have enough strength because I've been through everything I went through. So by me explaining the why, it's like, oh wow, okay, I understand now. So that's really what got me wanted to mentoring.
Wow. You said something so poignant, and you said the why. Because we all live in a time where, as our parents would say, just do what I say, not do as I say, but not as I do, or we say, they say, take out the trash, and we say, why? If you didn't catch a quick one,
Yeah.
You say, because I said so. And right. And it's still, we have the question of why, So, could you give an example of how you helped a young lady navigate her why? Because, like I said, a lot of us are scared to ask the question, why?
Yeah, yeah. I would have to say I had a young lady. She was I don't she's a big on the bigger side, and she was having an incident at school where they were joking on her where she didn't want to go to school or whatnot. But I can relate to that because I was on the bigger side when I was younger. So it's like I got joked on as well. So, so she was like, "But why are they like that? Why are they so mean? Why are they doing that?" I explained to her, like, you know, their parents probably did them like that. Majority of the time, it's a learned behavior. So, because kids don't grow up just being bad. That's not, adults just don't grow up. It's learned behaviors and carrying it. So, by me explaining it to her, she's like, okay. I said, so you have to extend grace. You got to extend grace. Teach them how to treat you. You still be nice. And then they're going to, 9 times out of 10, if you be nice to someone, they have no choice but to be nice back.
Absolutely.
True story.
So there's a guy that actually works with us at the plant, right? So for those who know, we have Toyota plant A, Toyota, give us some cars, or sponsor me, give some money. So there's a guy that I went to high school with. He works at the plant with us, and he actually was my bully at school. He actually was my bully, and we got close over dancing. That's what it was. He knew I could dance. I was a short, chubby kid in school too, but I could dance.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Bro, I ain't never seen a big dude move like that." He was just shot. He just skinny dude, and we just bonded over that. Next thing you know, that birthed into like 11-year friendship. So he ended up going to prison for a very substantial amount of time, and he recently got out from his second bid, and he's doing good for himself. So I understanding that brokenness, and why do you do what you do, and there's a lot of things that went on with him, and some things that went on with me, so it's understanding like, hey, everybody has their story and their reasons for why they do what they do, and it's not because they're being mean. It's that they think that way of life is normal when it's dysfunctional. And that's all they know. So yeah, that's what it came out to me from that example. So yeah, that's a very valid point. Very good story. So how has your definition of success evolved over time, especially after facing challenges, and what advice would you give to others about redefining their own paths?
Okay. I used to think that success was money. That is crazy. I used to think that you had to have a lot of money. I'm going to go get my hair done, my nails done. No, success is more than that. It's like success is a spiritual walk. There is no way that you can be successful without God. Like, I don't even see how if it is, you're stressed out, your head is hurting, you have high blood pressure, all of that. If you make it about money. But if you change your perspective and you make it about the journey instead of money, because you can be successful without having a dollar.
Right. That's correct.
As long as your business is running and you're making a difference in someone else's life, that's all the success I need. Honestly, I can still run a business and still work a 9 to 5 and still be successful. Success is not defined by that. So that's definitely my definition of success, and that's how I feel like it is. If that answers your question.
No, that's a very good question, because a lot of people do think that money is success. A lot of people think, oh, if I got this money, that means I'm successful. But nah, bro, like your heart is toe up. Or yeah, okay, you got money, or you have skills, but your personality is trash. Your attitude is shot, and nobody wants to be around you. Like, they'll acknowledge that you're skilled, but as a person, they don't even want to deal with you, because you think that's all it is. But then the Bible tells us, what does it mean to gain the whole world and lose our soul? So people are doing everything they can to achieve this because of what they didn't have, as opposed to. So what I have to learn is that when it comes to success, is that People build success off of what they see from the rearview mirror instead of what's in front of them. Like I literally know entrepreneurs who started a business not because of wanting to make a difference or they felt like there was a call or an assignment. They started their business because they did not want to go back to the poverty that they grew up in.
Right.
So their whole premise for wanting success is just not to go back.
Right.
So they're building backwards. They're establishing stuff backwards. And it's like, it's not sustainable after a certain amount of time. And next 20 years, 30 years has passed by and you may have built something, but what could have been if you just built it looking forward? Right. If you stop building out of fear and desperation.
That's what that is, fear.
So definitely success is not just money. It's mental health. It's emotional health. It's having healthy relationships around you and people not trying to snake you and you not trying to snake them and you not having to look over your shoulder. Like that's real success. Real success. It may not be the car that you want, but it's a car nonetheless. I know some people that need some cars right now.
Right. Yeah.
It may not be the house that you want, but it's a place to stay. I know somebody that need a house right now.
Right.
It may not be the meal that you want, but somebody don't have that meal.
Right.
So I've learned that success is being able to be, as Paul said, learn how to be a base or being content with where you are. And of course, being content doesn't mean accepting mediocrity. It's just understanding, just being grateful for the fact that I had to learn that sometimes with success can make us ungrateful. What do I mean by that? Like that in this moment, and those who are listening, in this moment, we're living an answered prayer. Like you just stop and just think about it. Like the way that you're living right now, a few months ago, you were praying for days like this.
You're right.
You was praying for days like this. And now you in the days that you were praying for and you're not happy. You're not content. You're not grateful. So God's like, why should I give you any more if you're not grateful for this?
There you go.
So there's moments where like when I achieve something, I have to kind of stop and just soak it in. Like, yeah, like this.
Right.
Yeah, because most people, when they get it done, they be like, okay, it's over. What's next? No, just stop for a moment. Smell the coffee, smell the flowers, touch grass.
You're right.
And just appreciate, like, man, like God really pulled up for your boy. Just sit in that. Because like I said, there were days like where I'm at right now, there were days I was praying for days like this. Am I gonna be here for the rest of my life? No. But days like this, I was hoping for days. I was praying for days like this.
Amen.
So that to me, that's success. That living in the days that you were praying for.
Living in the day. That's good.
That to me, that's peak success for me.
Absolutely.
So during all of the stuff that you went through, you said you were homeless, you went to prison, your upbringing. Where did you find the strength to keep going when all those things didn't go as planned? Because I'm pretty sure you had some plans and that you thought about, and then things that most likely work out the way that you planned. Where did you find the strength to keep going when it didn't go as planned, and what daily habits or mindsets help you maintain your resilience?
Looking at other people's story is what made me keep going, really. Looking at, especially when I went to prison and I looked around and I was the only one in federal prison with 5 months. And everybody else had 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, all of that. That's when I literally could lay down and go to sleep and be in peace there. And I was at the bottom though. In my eyes, I was there because I've never been to jail. Never. That was my first time ever going somewhere. Ever. Never been to jail, never been anywhere. So that to me was being at the bottom. Even with living in my car, I thought that was really the bottom, but now looking back, it's like, nah, that's not the bottom, because guess what? It's somebody living on the side of the street in California right now, you know, or strung out and don't have their family. So just looking at other people's story is what actually made me keep my strength, and knowing that okay, Pay, if you continue to live like this, you have a mom that's still alive. Some people can't. You have a mom and a dad that's still alive right now. Why would you take them through that? That is stressful. I'm not that selfish. I have a little sister. She's 8. I'm 31. She's 8 years old. So it's like, why would I not be an example for her? So just looking at everything, it gave me strength. It gave me a lot of strength, especially now. Because again, when I came home, I actually had nothing. Nothing. Storage room was gone. Before I even moved, before I even went to prison, I had no idea I was going. But when I moved out of my apartment, the girl that stayed next door to me had nothing. Had no couch, no bed, no anything. Keep in mind, I didn't know I was going to prison. So I walked outside. She was crying. I'm like, hey, hey, nice to meet you. I'm moving out. How are you doing today? She said, I'm doing good. I just don't have anything. She's from Montgomery. I said, you know what? You can walk in my apartment and grab everything out of there. Just take it. So by knowing that I've always continued to do good as well, during my tough times, that gave me strength to know that God was gonna come through one day. Like the story of Job also gave me strength. Yeah, I stuck to that the whole time too. All my down time, I literally stuck to the story of Job. Because I mean, look at that story, how God actually gave the devil basically permission to attack him. And look how Job came out. Absolutely. And his life was way worse than mine. He lost kids. He lost everything. He was wealthy. So if that story, if he could come out on top, I felt like I was going to be okay. So just reading the story of Job stuck with me too.
Yeah. So you said the tough upbringing. So you said from tough upbringing, homeless, prison, and now you're out. So where is the Sepeshia now? Where does she stand now at?
Okay. I'm at peace. I'm at peace with a lot of things. Like no one could take my peace. I've been tested a couple times where I could have went off, cussed people out, went to go tell on people, did this, did that. I'm at peace where I'm at. I'm not actually doing anything spiteful to try to get to the top. So I'm an upcoming small business owner. I am starting my cleaning business based off where I'm at currently. And actually, I didn't even know that this would be my journey, but my boss actually told me, hey, I'm going to help you. That wasn't my intention.
That's what's up.
God put me there, so that's where I'm at currently, just being at peace, really, and just going with the flow of things and knowing that God is in control of all things, and it's out of my control regardless of how much I stress. Yeah.
So final question, if you can give one piece of advice to Black women in their 30s striving to find their purpose and overcome obstacles, what would it be?
I would say, first, read the story of Job, please. Like, read it in all the context that you can, and just keep going. Don't give up. Regardless on where you're going, there is always, you're already at the bottom. If you're already at the bottom, just know you can't go any deeper. The deepest you can go is in the ground. So you don't want to die based off what you're going through. So just keep going, keep climbing, keep striving. Don't give up. Just move forward. You can't go back. Go forward. That would be just keep going. Be positive, and don't let anything distract you. Nothing.
That's good.
Nothing.
That's good. Now's the time to plug all your stuff, your books, your websites, your YouTube pages. Plug everything you got.
All right, YouTube, I'm her. With Sepeshia, I'm her. That's Sepeshia. I'm her. That's actually all my platforms. My Facebook, Instagram. I have I'm Her for Women on Instagram and on Facebook, and that's about it. I'm still going up.
And she still has the book, the self-care workbook for women, available on Amazon right now. Go cop that. Go get that. Buy it for Christmas.
Thank
Help her
you.
pay these bills, okay? Got
Please do.
bills to pay. Got bills to pay. Got a little sister to feed. She wants some of that tree.
She could.
Everything. Give us something under the tree. Come on now.
Amen.
Well, thank you, Sepeshia. We appreciate you. Thank you all for all of our listeners. Once again, this your boy PJV. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you for listening to Just James, the podcast. If this episode helped you and you know it can help someone you know, please like, follow, subscribe, and share from all platforms to stay updated on new episodes. In the meantime and in between time, peace and increase.